Here's what's coming into view on Elevating Denver for March 2024. Take a tour of Denver's Firefighters Museum.
Well, I would personally say that you run the best damn museum in the United States of America.
Discover how the FAST team can support you in a time of need.
All of us would be hard-pressed to find something tougher than the death of a loved one.
See how the Prodigy Coffee House apprenticeship makes a difference.
Folks getting a chance to see that they belong.
These stories and more are just ahead on Elevating Denver.
So growing up, I was like very shy. I grew up in the Global area. I went to school just up right here at Garden Place. How you doing, boss? What can I get for you? So when I graduated, I actually didn't have any plans. Like I didn't really find interest in college. So when I first came to the Prodigy shop, everybody here was very outgoing. Everybody they welcomed me in, and it didn't seem like a workplace. It seemed more like a family type of job.
I actually grew up in Glowville my whole life. I was really shy when I first started here and scared to open up to everybody, but this place really helped me be more open with everybody.
Our apprenticeship model is a 12 to 18 month opportunity for young folks to come in and work while they're learning and learn while they're working. We are a craft coffee house that we're really proud of, and part of the apprenticeship model, the first half of it, is going to be around becoming a really strong teammate and learning how to be a craft coffee barista. And this is where our apprenticeship gets a little different though, is once people become functional baristas, the training switches to becoming a leader and a trainer of their peers.
Sir, can I get that double espresso and one mocha?
We position this opportunity as a place for folks who feel like they haven't quite fit into school or work in the traditional sense and want to try something different. We're very upfront from day one that this is not just a job. This is about you learning and growing as much as possible over the year you're with us and being put into future leadership opportunities down the road with us during that year. And if you're willing to try that, then we'd be excited about exploring that.
I didn't really see myself as much of a leader. When we would have the development and all that, it was just really helping us learn about us, what we like and how we move in this world. So over the years, I just started getting more comfortable and they kept on throwing more challenges at me.
Diego works hard and just shows up and has been hungry to learn since day one. One of our leaders here on our crew who has really found his voice here at Prodigy. Lola is extremely talented, extremely hardworking, and doesn't give herself enough credit for it.
I feel like this place has taught me to be more open with myself, kind of just being who I am and expressing myself in certain ways.
I've grown significantly, as a person or to other people. Because I said, I was very antisocial, so me being who I am now, I'm open to talking to people, to experience new things, put myself into new things without being comfortable with it.
For us, success is really rooted in folks getting a chance to see that they belong and that their contributions and their talents really matter. We see that a lot of 18 to 24-year-olds, if they haven't found their path, it can be a pretty confusing time. And it can make you feel like, hey, I don't really fit in at school, I don't really fit in work structures. And so having a place where you can be no, who I am and how I show up here is really respected and is appreciated, helps people realize that they have a path to be a part of things, not just here, but in the future. We've been fortunate to partner with Dido really heavily since COVID, and there was a lot of workforce development money to help folks re-enter the workforce. And Dido has been, I think it's almost 4 years on now, of being supportive of us, both from a funding, but also a support and resource standpoint. And it's really allowed us to be able to function as we are recovering from the consequences of COVID. But then also it's a validation that Our local government really supports and believes in our workforce model and works really hard to help us find success.
I think it's important to have a place like Prodigy because even though we are a coffee shop, they've helped me get into therapy. I know they help people get their GED if they need it. I think it's just really helpful for what they do here, besides just teaching people how to do basic coffee.
Hopefully I could own my own coffee shop, have my own baristas, have like my own type of coffee shop, get to know more people.
We have this inherent belief on our team. We're gonna lead with believing every young person who comes in here, they're a prodigy. Like they're a young person endowed with exceptional abilities. And having that unshakable belief in people, yeah, it's so encouraging when it pays off and when they can see it themselves.
Find someone that you're happy to walk down East Colfax with.
Completely.
I'm originally from the East Coast. I was living at the time in Boston, and as a cartoonist I was doing a lot more shows and traveling, and I just happened to be accepted in this show down in New Orleans, and I had a table and Kelly was at the table next to me.
We started talking. Next thing we know, we are talking about the Denver band Slim Cessna's Auto Club. And we were friends online for a couple of years, but it would not have happened had we not had that conversation of having this band in common that we really liked.
Kelly was saying to me that if I wanted a true Denver experience, I needed to see Slim Cessna's Auto Club at the Bluebird, New Year's Eve, and a hometown experience. And that was at the end of 2003. And that's when we started dating. 20 years later, and we're married, and
Randomly meeting in New Orleans and bonding over a Denver band.
a lot of my illustration work is based naturally around Denver, but the reason I think it works is I view Denver as Kelly's city. This is Kelly's city, and I use my illustrations, the Queen City book and everything, as a way of learning about Denver. I still view myself as an outsider looking into Denver.
And I think the thing that I love about that is he shows me things in Denver that I just take for granted. His experience in Denver has really kind of broadened my view of Denver, because otherwise it's just like, here I live. And so to have somebody from somewhere else who is really kind of looking at it under a microscope, just observationally, instead of critically or loving it or ignoring everything, really just sort of looking at it, helps you see things that you don't normally notice.
What I do find romantic are the small moments that you just come across in the city. Say you're walking down East Colfax just as the sun is setting and the neon lights in Pete's Satire and Pete's Kitchen light up and start glowing. Catching the tango dancers in Cheeseman Park when they dance at the pavilions. I've never seen this before until I moved to Denver, how the sky just lights up orange as the sun sets behind the mountains. Those moments are utterly romantic.
And Denver has a lot of those little moments that if you're just paying attention, you see. So beautiful.
That's one of the things I wanted to do with my artwork, just kind of put a little pin going, this is what Denver was like at the early 21st century. And hopefully, create a record that people 20, 30 years from now can look back and go, hey, do you remember Muddies?
And I think the thing that I love about that is, again, he brings my attention to places. He goes to the library and he learns what was in this space 100 years ago when it first was built.
People are so captured in the moment that, the past gets easily forgotten.
So hanging out with him, the past doesn't get forgotten.
Find someone that you can talk to.
Find something that you enjoy.
Talking to. Find someone that no matter where you go, you're going to have fun with that person.
Yeah. And obviously 20 years in, so.
After the first phone call with Lindsay, she said, we want to make sure that you're okay. If you need anything, you can call us. You have my number. And I thought, what? How can you help me? I'm so far away. It was my son. I hope you have a good life and you don't have problems like this. So why do you even bother? But she keeps calling. And it gives me this, feeling that I'm not alone. And that my son is not forgotten.
FAST is our family advocate support team, and we support people left behind after a tragic death. People need support when they're going through tough things, and I think all of us would be hard-pressed to find something tougher than the death of a loved one.
We're always here. If you are having a harder day than usual, if you need to let something out and your friends aren't really the people you want to turn to at the time, call us. This is why we're here. She really just needed a space to open up to somebody. I remember when she kind of realized the point of why we were calling her, she just let herself be vulnerable and talk about things that she said that she couldn't really talk about with close friends and family.
He was a very good son, always caring about me, always making sure I'm okay. A kid that puts the smile on your face. He was the best cook. He was the best party organizer. I never knew that my son's depression was so deeply set and that it was, taking over his emotions and his life.
We will follow up on anyone who was involved in the death, regardless of where they live. So the person who died in Denver, we will follow up on anybody who is related to their case.
Each person's experience with death is individual, and everybody that we work with is going to have their own levels of resiliency already instilled in them, and we are just meeting people where they're at. For one person, that might look like helping them with rental assistance or food assistance, or maybe they need assistance getting, property back from Denver Police Department. For other people, they might be ready for grief support. They might be ready for finding a therapist, and we can assist them with that as well.
I am just looking at you and your smiles. And I would say you are kind of my people because I smile even through very, very hard times. And a son of mine was like this. With you, I can talk, and I know you will not be insensitive.
Always.
I spend most of my day reaching out to families, whether that be through phone calls, through condolence cards, sometimes in person, generally trying to meet them where they're at and provide any type of help that I can. Also just being someone to listen.
Every time I'm really getting down low, the FAST team calls me It's like, do they have some, they know it is time? It helps so much when there is someone, even on the other side of the phone, who is willing to listen, who is telling you, you know what, you need time. And time will help you. You will just get back to normal. No, I don't think it will happen, but you will start breathing again.
The last phone call that our team had with her, she told us that she took a vacation with her friends and she's been in grief counseling. She's just doing what she needs to do to protect her peace during this time. That's what she was having a hard time doing when we gave her that first call. Now she's a little bit more grounded and she's kind of has more of an idea of what's gonna help her and make her feel better.
I still cry when I talk about Peter. However, I can tell jokes about him and his jokes. I really remember good moments and I think about it a lot. I need to keep Peter close to me. I have a park next to my place where I live, and I just ordered a bench with Peter's picture and, just a memorial. It's a lot of crying still, and I think it will never stop. But it gives me this connection.
Well, I would personally say that you are on the best damn museum in the United States of America, but you are at the Denver Firefighters Museum. This particular museum, we enhance the history of Denver predominantly. We do the history of firefighting, but the preservation of Denver's history is what we really strive to present.
History is everything to us. Being a Denver firefighter is something you don't leave when you retire, and coming back here is a little bit of the job that you get back.
We'll start with the history of this beautiful building that the Denver Firefighters Museum gets to call home. Constructed in 1909, it's actually the second station number 1 that Denver knew. This building saw the changeover from horse-drawn vehicles to the motorized vehicles we see on the streets today. If these walls could talk, it would be amazing. No 2 days are ever the same at any museum, I feel like, but especially at the Denver Firefighters Museum. We try to keep our programming and our outreach very engaged and very hands-on. We have Fun at the Firehouse, which is our story and craft time program. We sneak some fire safety education in when we can.
Fun at the Firehouse is probably our most rewarding program. Every other weekend we pretty much sell out, and it's a packed classroom, and the kids just absorb it. And it's a really rewarding and gratifying experience to see kids having fun with the crafts that we provide.
Then we have Squirt's fire safety classes, which are our preschool fire safety class. And then we also do our Junior Firefighters Academy Summer Camp. We explore daily themes of fire science, fire safety, the history and future of firefighting, and then we put it all together for a graduation day. Just seeing the kind of freedom we have as informal education spaces to really engage kids in hands-on ways, to make things active, to make things interesting, and to make things learner-driven. And so you see a lot of that really just mesh so easily when it comes to fire safety education, because the best way to learn fire safety is to practice it.
The evolution of firefighting, quite honestly, in the simplest terms, we put water on a fire, and that hasn't changed since day one. What has changed is the knowledge and the techniques and the advancements in the chemical production and the warning systems and the radio communications. So we've aged well, but we are a tradition, a profession that's steeped in tradition.
We're expanding some of our adult programs and trying some new things this year, which we're really excited about. We are starting a lecture series called Inside the Service, so focusing on different aspects of what it is to be a firefighter, different aspects of fire service.
Firefighting is a very unique job, unlike any other job anywhere. Very unique. But folks that come in here, they want to hear about it. And it's fun to share our history and our what we did for our career. It's fun to share that with people, and they really enjoy it.
The truism of the job is that it's very serious, it's very real. We go out every single day and we deal with death. It's a piece of the job that stays with you. It's a piece of the tradition that you learn to live with, and you move on to the next page. And as you teach the younger generations and you teach the people that come into the museum, you're able to pass along some of those experiences and why it's so important, why we teach safety, why we teach safe words, why we teach get low and go. That's why.
Dan Farley, our executive director, loves to say, and I very strongly feel that this is true, you could be 1, you could be 100. You are going to find something in this building that interests you, that you connect with, and that you walk away remembering. And that is so accurate, because there is so much science, there is so much history, there is so much evolution of technology, and then the people behind the badge, the personalities behind those incidents and those events that happen. There's something for everybody here, and that's just amazing to get to share with people.
I come to work with a smile on my face every day. I'm happy to be where I'm at. I couldn't wish for life to be any better right now, honestly.
So we're out here at Denver International Airport as part of Denver Solar-thon. We have volunteers here from the City and County of Denver, members of the community, and the training cohort with Grid Alternatives of folks who are helping to train under-resourced individuals for careers in solar opportunities and connect them to local installers. We have about a dozen folks at a time who go through their training cohorts. So this Solar Training Academy, learning with us on the job as well as through additional efforts on our programs to help get them ready for a career in solar training.
Honestly, I was homeless for a while. For about 7 years, finally got it in my head where I needed to get things straight, and I met Rosa. She's the recruiter for Grid's class they have. I got into that, and as soon as that was over, I've honestly gotten my life back in a better position than I've ever imagined it to be now, and everything is going great. That place did more for me than I could have ever imagined.
We see Denver's projects as a way in which we can not only invest in climate solutions, but invest in our community, creating good jobs for people who are looking to be a part of the energy transition, while the power that we generate can go back and help people save money on their utility bills.
Everybody needs a job. You can't really get anywhere or have anything without one, so having these projects is a huge help. The pay is great, for one, and just having that amount of work, it's a great thing to have. I've never been able to actually have like a 5-10 year plan for my life, and now I actually do. I've never been able to put back money before. I'm able to do that now. Just financially stable. I can actually provide for myself and not have to ask anyone or anything like that. It's a good feeling for sure.
For folks who are interested in learning more about our workforce training opportunities, you can visit our website or check out Grid Alternatives for opportunities to enroll in a program yourself.
Oh, it feels great. I love being able to at least give back to the community any way I can, because it's definitely given me a whole lot, for sure. I love it here. If it wasn't for Denver and the things I've been given here with Solar Academy and everything else, I wouldn't be in the position I am now.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.